Oh man, Saturday morning. Thank goodness the weekend is here. The weekend is here. The weekend. The kids are already off playing football this early. You imagine that? Face out there driving them around this morning, taking them to football. She's up and she's moving around. Beautiful morning. I was bad sick yesterday. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. That's for sure. I went through something recently here. It's no good. I don't like being sick. I hadn't been sick for almost, and I wouldn't say it out loud until I got sick, but I hadn't been sick for almost 2 years. 2 years. Yeah, I just got sick twice in like 1 month. Good morning. I almost said good evening. Good morning. We made it through the week. That's exciting. I am your host, Mags. That's what they call me. It's not my real name, but hey, we're going to go with it because what's the difference? Does it really matter? You're going to write me a Christmas card? What's going on here, huh? We don't do spin. We do truth. Grab your coffee or an adult beverage wherever you're at in life. I used to be there, so I get it. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, do a bunch of things. You got to do a bunch of things before you can come in here. You can't just come in here and hang out. You got to hit the like button. You're not allowed to just sit there in the dark in the background and hate on people. You got to like it. Like the other day, there was a guy that was in here talking about how we're all horrible and we don't know what we're talking about and all that other stuff and how he's never coming back. And then I looked and he subscribed, which is great. I mean, that's great. I love it. I love it. We're gonna start off with some lighter stuff here. So, Steve-O, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Steve-O. Steve-O is, let me get this queued up over here. Pause that, move over here, get this on the screen. Not that I don't know if we want to see this, but we'll see it anyway. You get to see it because I saw it. So Steve-O went on Joe Rogan's podcast. And if you aren't familiar with him, he was a member of Jackass. If you don't know that group, that was a crew of guys who got famous with a show and then some movies of them doing like crazy or just outright painful stunts. Steve-O was like the king of those. This is the one where Steve-O, just to introduce you to Steve-O, this is one where Steve-O did where they wired a rat zapper to his well, it's blurred out.
That lovely contraption.
So that's Steve-O there in the slim trunks, I guess. With I see there's two wires attached to his there's two wires attached to his redactor. All right, that's what we're dealing with here. That's what we're dealing with here. Steve-O. So Steve-O goes on Joe Rogan. I like Steve-O. He's older now. He goes on Joe Rogan and he starts talking about LGBT stuff. And Joe Rogan pretty much annihilates him. It was pretty good. Bring this up here.
Reschedule it, and I'm buying groceries.
That was
in LA, and the person ringing me up on the cash register is like seems pretty evidently transgender, and I'm just like, dude, it's like the fucking universe is giving me signs over here, you know. And so like I asked this, didn't even occur to me up to this point that I need to like run it by anybody, because I'm like, fuck it, my body, my choice, who cares, you know. I'm doing a dumb stunt to like, you know, be crazy. But in this situation, talk to this transgender person, like, hey, can I run something by you? And I spoke with them. They described to me a level of oppression that genuinely fucking broke my heart. They said, hey, let me tell you, like, I am not allowed to use the bathroom at my own place of work. We've got like politics.
That's not true. They're just not allowed to use the bathroom. It doesn't align with their biological sex.
Okay.
But you got to realize they're not.
This is an educated view versus the emotional view. So this is a good example of the right versus the left, because the right, like I say a lot of times, they are typically rely more on facts and logic, whereas the left relies on emotion. Not a shot at them. Just seems to be a general fact and observation in my many years on this earth.
Listen, I genuinely think there's people that feel like they are in the wrong biological sex.
Sure.
Right? But there's also people that are fucking perverts, and they have a thing called autogynephilia. And what that is they get a turn on by pretending to be a woman. They get excited by it, and they want to be around women, and they're creeps. And so you give them a fucking Willy Wonka golden ticket to go into the women's locker room and the women's bathroom and stare at women and pretend you're a woman when you're just a crazy man and you're actually into women.
Okay.
That's real too, man.
I don't doubt that that's real, and I know that it's a super complex, nuanced thing. And
but here's what's not
slowly
complex.
Backing away.
What is your chromosomes?
Right.
Okay. This is the same thing for competing. Right. All these fucking mental gymnastics that seemingly intelligent people do to justify biological males competing with females.
Oh, I'm with the, I don't think anybody's
It's the same thing.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
And especially as speaking as a man who has daughters, like there are creeps. And if you give a creep, and I'm not saying all trans people are creeps,
right,
but a lot of these fucking people that are in trouble for going into women's bathrooms dressed as a woman with a fucking beard and a heart on are just that. They're creeps.
Right, okay.
They're crazy men. And these crazy men, their entire life, they would get beaten up for that. And now all of a sudden they have to be accepted. So you've got two
Right,
things
right,
going on
right,
at the
right.
same time.
For sure.
You've
For
got
sure.
people with gender dysphoria that
Right.
genuinely wish they were a woman or genuinely wish they were a man. And by the way,
Yeah.
it's men that are the problem. No
Yes,
one
listen.
gives a fuck about trans men going into the men's bathroom. Come
Listen
on
to
in.
that.
Who cares?
Right.
Right.
Who cares?
don't
Oh,
care.
a girl's going to shit next to you? Or what is she going to do? She's going to pee out of a funnel?
Right,
What is
right,
she going
right.
to do? Like,
Hey,
no
I'm
one's
not-
going to
I'm
get
not-
hurt.
I'm not arguing
No
with
one's
you
going to
on
get
this.
hurt. This is the problem. When
Right.
you allow
Right. Exactly.
perverts to have this hall pass to go into women's locker rooms and bathrooms.
Yeah.
So you can't say you're not allowed to use the bathroom where you work. That's not true. You're
Okay.
just not allowed to use the women's room where other women are in there because you're not a woman. And I know you wish you were a woman or whatever's
right,
going on,
Okay.
but you're
You know
not.
what? You make a very, very good point.
If you're a woman, talk to most women about this. And
Right.
it's unless they're insanely captured by this woke ideology where they can't see reality and the fact that perverts are still a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
And this loophole, you've given loopholes. Like there's men in prison. I think it's like 47 biological males in California are housed in women's prisons. Some of them are sex offenders. Some of them in Canada. There's a guy in Canada that they had to pay for his boob job
Yeah.
while he was in jail for being a sex offender, and they put him in a women's prison. Yeah.
I'm not arguing with
There's
any of
men
insanity of
who
it.
have pretended to be women, gone into women's prison, had sex with women and impregnated them. There's men who have sexually assaulted and raped women in
Man.
prison that are pretending to be women with functional dicks.
Oh,
All they have to do is
oh.
identify, air
An
quotes.
adult
When you
joker.
just have to identify, that's it. No operation, no nothing.
Yeah, you say that that's what you are, and all of a sudden, that's what you are. Steve-O did say earlier in the video he was taking TRT. He was taking that, and he had quit taking it. As far as his voice, how it sounded a bit weird, I agree. It did sound kind of weird. It did sound kind of weird. So that was a good example, I think, of a rational, factual argument versus an emotional one. You know, I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them too. But that doesn't mean you validate their mental disorder. If you do that, all you do is hurt them more. Compassion isn't that's not compassion. Then you have New Jersey. This is crazy. Then you have New Jersey. The New Jersey Senate voted 38 to 0 to require free menstrual products at public colleges under the menstrual equity bill. What? Lawmakers in New Jersey have advanced what they call a menstrual equity mandate that would require public colleges and universities to provide free menstrual products to students following a 38 to 0 Senate vote February 24th. Period poverty. Period poverty. This is the thing. This is the thing. Can you check to make sure that's a thing? Is that a thing now? That's a thing now? Period poverty places students in a vulnerable position where they must weigh the choice between buying period products or other basic essentials like clothing or food. This barrier disproportionately affects students of course it's about race. This barrier disproportionately affects students of color who already face gender inequities in higher education. This initiative has seen success in other states and public universities nationwide, making it time for New Jersey to adopt a similar approach to improve health, safety, and the overall student experience. According to the bill, the task force would be required to advance efforts toward achieving menstrual equity. Menstrual equity within 6 months of the law taking effect. Identify the number of students seeking free menstrual products. Does that happen now? Do students go to their college and demand menstrual products from their colleges? That's a thing now? College presidents would then be required to implement the plan within 12 months of the bill's effective date. The goals are to increase access to menstrual products on college campuses in New Jersey. Legislation sponsored by Senate Majority Leader M. Teresa Ruiz and Senator Angela V. McKnight that would require each public university to develop a plan to achieve menstrual equity on campus past the Senate. So public university, that's tax money. Colleges are supposed to provide you with your menstrual products. It seems like, no offense, ladies, I'm trying to be compassionate here and understand, but why do I have to pay for so-and-so's menstrual products? I don't understand. Why is that a thing? Why is the government paying for all these things that don't belong? Why? And what's the deal with period poverty? I don't understand. Never heard that one before. Or menstrual equity. Menstrual equity and period poverty. That's what we're dealing with today in America. I'm sorry to tell you. Sorry to tell you. It's not all about Iran, guys. We can't focus on Iran and just the Epstein files all the time. We have to talk about these important social issues like tax dollars paying for period poverty. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why we're doing that. I don't really understand any of that. But I guess it is what it is. I'm still at shock sometimes from some of these things. But these are the people that are making these rules. These are the people that we're dealing with here. These people right here. They seem very logical, very measured. Let's see if they really are.
If you don't play into the trans agenda, you're cast out as a bully and a
It doesn't seem like a healthy thing to support. Doesn't seem like a healthy thing to support. And you got, we're going to get into some J6 stuff here in a minute. There's some new J6 news. Do you believe it? There's new J6 news going on. I did see this video popping around. I'm not 100% sure where this came from, but it says in Iran, knocking off the turbans of Islamic regime clerics has become a national sport. Let's see what we got here. Boom. Well, that's kind of funny. If that's true, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. That's a good way for them to, they're standing up. These guys get shot where they're at for doing stuff like that. Good for them. That's funny. I think it's funny. Goes on and on. Right? What is menstrual equity? Boop. That's just funny. Good for them. I mean, if that's what they're doing, I mean, that's kind of silly, but you know, who are we to talk when we haven't lived there? We don't know what it's like. Mega cringe alert. Yeah, they did look like nice girls. Yeah, they look nice. They look nice. I would want my, as a person who has a wife and 3 grown daughters, I could tell you those things do get expensive. Oh man, that's a lot of women, man. Oh man, we got a lot of men in this house. My poor wife. My poor wife. Seems like I say that 7 or 800 times a day now. What? I just don't know. Then we got this news story. This is interesting. The J6 news. Let me pull this up. Let's see. Virginia passes legislation prohibiting schools from teaching falsehoods about the January 6th riot. Virginia schools. Virginia's legislature passed a bill prohibiting schools from teaching what it considers to be falsehoods about the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot, including portraying it as a peaceful protest. Small reminder, MagAmericans.com was created on January 6, 2021 at approximately about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right when everything was really going down, and I was seeing what was going on the TV. It was pretty hard to avoid it. The General Assembly approved the measure Thursday as a first of its kind legislation to combat false statements. By supporters of President Trump. The bill says that school instruction must, quote, not describe, portray, or present as credible a description or portrayal of the actions precipitating or involved in the events of January 6, 2021 as insurrection as peaceful protest. Schools may also not state, suggest, or present as credible a statement or suggestion that there was extensive election fraud that could have changed or actually changed the results of the 2020 presidential election. Instead, the measure says that school instruction must, quote, describe the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the United States Capitol as an unprecedented violent attack on United States democratic institutions, infrastructure, and representatives for the purpose of overturning the results of the 2020 presidential election. The legislation was sponsored by State Delegate Dan Helmer, a Democrat from Northern Virginia in the state Senate. The bill passed 21-19. The chamber's 19 Republicans opposed the measure. CBS News had requested comment from Virginia State Senate GOP leaders. The victors write the history books. State and local police of Virginia were among the law enforcement responders who helped repel the mob on January 6, 2021. The White House has tried to rewrite history. I don't want to celebrate traitors in our public schools. Helmer's bill is expected to be signed by communist Virginia I put that in myself. By Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, a Democrat who was elected in November and who served in Congress at the time of the Capitol attack. Oh, how did she survive? It's a miracle that she survived. The governor will review all legislation that comes to her desk. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's the the victors, like I said, the victors write the history books. They do. And there's nothing that we can do about it unless we are the victors. There was I don't know if you're familiar, if you're not, I don't know where you've been, but if you're not familiar, let me pull it up real quick here. And then we got something. Oh yeah, we got some other stuff to touch on. I forgot. Um, I'm assuming most people have already. Where are we at here? Give me a second to pull this up. So we've all seen. I think we've all seen this. This Marine standing up in the
reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons
and pay attention to this. Look at and understand that this guy knew what he was doing. Okay, so we covered this already, but I'm going to touch on it now. This guy knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, I believe he's since admitted to wearing the uniform just to get attention. And like I said when I first saw it, that guy's wearing his uniform to get attention because no one's going to cover it on the major news networks unless he's wearing that military uniform. Because if you're wearing a military uniform, you are absolutely 100% a hero. No questioning anything that you say. It's just what it is. But that's not the case. That's not the case. I wore the uniform. I know there's a lot of jerks that wear the uniform. It's okay. Jerks are good at being soldiers too.
daughters, the war.
So anyway, the point was is how he throws himself on the ground. He knows the tactics, dead weight, that kind of stuff. He's not technically fighting back. Well, he kind of is, but he's not technically fighting back. Like he's not hitting or anything like that. But he's good at what he's doing here. He knows what to do as far as to keep his body in the way of those people.
Israel, your inability to name that shows your ineptness as leaders.
Nope.
This is wrong. No. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
He pushed himself down there. They didn't do that.
A reminder to all our Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
The senator broke his hand.
Sir, thank you for your service.
The senator broke his hand. The senator broke his hand.
He's a Marine. Somebody come help him.
Control your Senate committee.
Look at you guys. You're robots. You won't even look back.
They're not robots. They're just sick of this crap. We've all seen it a million times. And when we don't give you the emotional response you ask for, you go, oh my God, they're heartless. Look, they're heartless. They're not responding to our dumb crap as much as they used to. That means they're heartless.
Look at you guys. You're like robots. Oh my God, what is happening? And you're not even looking back. Any of you four-star generals, oh my God, what is happening right now?
It sound more emotional than it is. Oh my gosh, they didn't look. Oh my goodness. I don't know if this is before or after, but this is him later harassing senators in the hallways of Congress. So that's always a good idea. I think this is Tom Tillis.
How much louder do you want to talk? I speak. How much louder do you want to talk, Marine? Listen, sir. Everybody, this Marine wants to be heard. I can't come on down here. I do want to be heard, Steve. I am personally affected. My wife is Palestinian. My wife is Palestinian. I have soldiers.
We need a leader. Be a leader.
Start with respect.
Yeah, respect. Have some respect.
You started escalating. I do that because I'm a Marine and I fought for
Oh, yes, I was
I have
in the military.
this emotional response. I do this with everybody. I do this with my family. I do this with my wife. This is what it looks like, ma'am.
We do not support Israel.
Unhinged.
We do not support Israel.
Listen to us. Listen to us.
This was not race bait. This was genuine.
Do not.
It is not. This is how the American people feel. We do not want to die for Israel.
It's really not. Yes, I am a veteran of the U.S. Army. Yes, yes. And if you already don't like me now, just wait until you hear that I helped to build part of the border wall. That's right. I was down there on the border, down in Douglas, Arizona, building the border wall, the hateful meanie pants border wall. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Under a hateful president, because only a hateful president, only a racist, hateful president would build a border wall. Except, oh yeah, I forgot. When I was in the military and I was helping to build the border wall, we were doing that under President Clinton. That's weird. That's weird. Why do so many of them hide their faces? Why do so many of them hide their faces? This is New York City here. Kill another soldier now! Kill another soldier now. Why does he have his face all covered up? How come he has his face covered up? Maybe he doesn't want his identity to be known. He probably doesn't want to get doxxed. He probably wants to be safe. What an interesting idea.
Kill another soldier now! Al-Qassam, you make us proud! Al-Qassam, you make us proud! Kill another soldier now! Kill another soldier now! Al-Qassam, you make us proud! Al-Qassam, you make us proud! Kill another soldier now! We will honor Khomeini from the belly of...
We will honor Khomeini from the belly of the beast.
The beast! From the belly of the beast! We will honor Khomeini! We will honor Khomeini from the belly of the beast. From the belly.
Well, they're not as big as you think. See, this is the crowd over here that's against them.
From the belly of the beast. From the belly of the beast. We will honor Khomeini. We will honor Khomeini. Yeah.
That's on the American streets. We all disrespect the uniform. It doesn't matter if you're a cop or a Boy Scout. You're in the service. Just because we have a badge doesn't mean anything. Yeah, so if he broke his hand. As far as his hand getting broke, too bad, so sad. Don't put yourself in those positions. That's no different than a lot of other situations. You could say the same thing about Preddy or Renee Good or whatever. You could even make that argument about Ashley Babbitt for goodness sakes. You can make that argument about a lot of people, but personal responsibility is pretty important, guys. It's pretty important. Unless you're in Congress. Unless you're in Congress. Then, not so much. Then it's not so important. Fraud alert. AOC, this is Nancy Mace. AOC voted against releasing sexual harassment records of members of Congress, but she wants to lecture you on Epstein. Cortez replied, "Lady, your sloppy resolution would have doxed victim statements that had identifying info. It redacted names and nothing else. House employee records can match statements to reverse ID names. Take your job seriously. Fix your messy loopholes, and I'd vote yes. You know that. Not hard." Lady, this is Nancy Mace replying. Lady, you are a grandstanding liar. You want to dox ICE officers, but voted against releasing sexual harassment records of members of Congress. My resolution redacted all the personally identifiable information of the victims, alleged victims, and witnesses. Don't cry about the Epstein files ever again. AOC equals all out of credibility. Ooh, based. That's based. That's good stuff right there. The world's a crazy place. The world's a crazy place. I did just see this, though. It seems interesting. Breaking. New FEC filings reveal Representative Thomas Massey received several max-level $7,000 donations from Maruk, who also backed Elon Omar, Ro Khanna, Cory Bush, Keith Ellison, and Act Blue, with 79% of his overall donors also giving to Democrats. I mean, that seems like it should be a problem. And then we have this absolute clown. Speaking of J6ers, I hate to even include him with those people, but you have to, because technically he's a J6er. Technically. This was, I believe, in at the New York, what is it? Get that guy's name. I guess he crashed a vigil for Khomeini in New York. This is Jake Lang, the forever desperate for attention clown from J6.
Kamani! Kamani's a goat fucker! Kamani likes to fuck goats! The Muslims need to get out of NYC! They're bunch
Then you got his clown behind him with his big stupid smile on his face.
pedophiles!
Recording that stuff like they're all happy. He's pretending to have sex with the goats. I mean, the American flag's hitting the ground. Like, you know, it's 100% piece of crap. Recently, this clown blocked me on X because I like to expose some of his garbage, so he doesn't want that to happen because if his image, it's an image, he's built an image, and it's a very shaky image, and it can be knocked down pretty easily. But yeah, that's this is who some of these clown MAGA, whatever they call themselves, patriots. They see him as some hero. Like, oh yeah, he's out there fighting the good fight.
Go raping pedophiles! Get Kamani! Get Somalia! Get these Muslims out of our city! We will not allow these people to continue to rape and pillage our city! USA! 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 USA!
So what's the point of this? What's the point of that? Well, the point is what it always is with Jake Lang, is to get some attention, try to make the news, keep his name in the headlines. That's the main thing. Keep his name in the headlines so he can continue to take advantage of morons out here who support that. Like, yeah, he's out there speaking the truth. That's the trick. So many other people do it too. That's the trick. You can go out there and build a hateful, disgusting argument on top of a few facts. It's the same way they do with propaganda, where the best propaganda is the propaganda that is built on half-truths. So they can point back and go, see, that's real. Look, that's real. That's real. That's a fact that we built this whole propaganda network on that one fact. And that way, there's some facts involved, and then people go, as soon as they go, look, this is the fact that, then the people that were then they go, oh, okay, well then that's a fact. It must be a fact. So, you know, I'm in your group now, so that means I hate who you tell me to hate. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that's what they do. So he gets out there, and yeah, there's issues with Iran and Muslims in America. Sure there is. You'd be lying if you denied that. On a side note, that doesn't mean I hate all Muslims, guys. Just so we're clear. So he takes that real fact, that real issue, and he tries to turn it into something else because he's desperate for attention. Jake Lang has been desperate for attention since J6. It's why he sat in jail as long as he did voluntarily. It's why he did a lot of things he did. He's a piece of crap. That guy is a piece of crap. It is what it is. I hate to call people names like that. I'm not a big fan of it, but look at his behavior. He's insulted parents who, Austin Metcalf's dad. He totally called him out and insulted him right on the live stream because he wouldn't support his vile, empty, pathetic rally he had down there in Texas with him and his little token guy stood on top of the bus in front of nobody and acted like it was some kind of an important rally. It's very important. That's why he was so mad that the dad didn't support it, because without that, no one's supporting it. And he gets angry if you don't support what he's doing. You have to support what he's doing. He's a freedom fighter. He's out there fighting for you. He's kicking over ICE statues. Like a girl, no less. I don't know if you've seen that video, but he looks like a 3-year-old learning to kick a kickball. It was pretty crazy, I thought. Feminine even. I don't know.
Boy.
I came across this. I thought it was pretty interesting. And speaking of Muslims.
Are you a Jew?
Are you a goy?
Shut your ass up, you son of a bitch.
Actually, you can help, bro. I've been learning the Quran for Ramadan, and I'm asking what sounds nicer in English or Arabic. So I'll start with the Arabic. وَالْمُصْنَاتُ مِنْ الْنِسَاءِ إِلَّا مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. It's beautiful, no?
Mm-hmm.
So nice, yeah. How about this? How do you like it in English? It's forbidden to sleep with married women unless they're slave girls you capture in battle.
Oh, truth hurts.
Ugh, I don't know where that says that in the Quran, mate.
Yeah, it's in Al-Nisa, Surah Al-Nisa. How about this one? فَإِذَا لَقَيْتَمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَضَرْبَ الرِّقَابِ. Or in English, when you meet the non-Muslims, strike their throats.
I don't know where it says that. Show me evidence says that.
Surah Muhammad Ayah 4. I can play it for you. Would you like to hear it?
I want to play for it. Oh, I like to hear it.
Gotcha.
Beautiful, no?
Yeah, I mean, no commenting and no comment.
he's taking the fifth on the Quran, Habibi.
That's good. I mean, that's a good way of exposing it. I think it does a good job. And as far as what Nancy Mace and I were talking about before, she put forth a motion to release the congressional sexual harassment records to the American people, and leadership on both parties whipped the vote to make sure it failed. Tens of millions of dollars paid out in secret settlements, and they want to keep it that way.
Didn't do anything about it while they were in Congress, of course. Those same people just voted en masse to kill a bill forcing the House Ethics Panel to release all sexual harassment allegations that have been made against themselves. 357 members, 182 Democrats, 175 Republicans, voted to kill Nancy Mace's bill, referring the decision to the Ethics Committee, where it will get shot down.
Yes,
only 65 members voted with Congresswoman Mace, and she joins us now to talk about that. So you had a bill to make public all the allegations against members of Congress. And as they always do, they vote to protect themselves, right?
Correct. Hundreds of them, over 300 Republicans and Democrats. And in fact, leadership in both parties were whipping the vote, making sure that my motion failed on the floor. And it was an abject failure to the people of the United States. It was shameful. And I don't want to hear one word out of a single person that voted against releasing the sexual harassment files of members of Congress. You don't get to say one word about Jeffrey Epstein or his victims. You lost that chance yesterday.
How much of a problem is this in Congress of sexual assault, sexual harassment claims from sitting members of Congress against their staffers? Is this a huge issue?
Millions and
Well,
millions.
clearly it's enough for leadership in both parties to hide it from the American people. I don't know, because I asked the question and couldn't even get the answer. And it went to committee where it will go to die, like it always does. I had to fight yesterday even to get the slush fund subpoena done on an open. And that money only goes to 2018. But up until 2018, we're talking about tens of millions of dollars, from $1 to $5 million a year.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Sexual harassment claims by members of Congress and employees here on the Hill. It's crazy.
Tens of millions of dollars is paid out to settle these claims, and nobody will allow them to be made public. I mean, what a weird world you work in that town.
Disgraceful world. What a disgraceful world. He isn't allowed to voice his opinion. I'm assuming that's, I don't know if that's Jake Lang or the Marine. If it was the Marine you're talking about, the way he did it was wrong. He shouldn't have been in uniform. He knew what he was doing when he had that uniform on. Hollow men hate AOC because she's far smarter than they are. Oh, is that true?
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. Trump says it's wrong. I don't know. My cult leader said it was wrong.
Wrong.
Yep, it's wrong. It's wrong, but
We love you all.
we do.
Love you.
Love you. We love you guys. It's going to be all right. Saturday. We're finally here. Oh, man. Did you guys hear? Oh, see, there's so much fake news going around in this fog of war. We get lost in this fog of war. It's hard to tell what's true and what's not. And I know that America said that they sunk all Iran's navy, but Iran just released brand new video of their navy traveling across the Persian Gulf. This proves that the navy is not only intact, but it's bigger and stronger than ever. The lying U.S. does not want you to see. There it is. Persian army. Iranian navy. Here they come. The scary thing. Here comes the army, the navy. I think it's funny. And then how many of you guys, like, we started off, I started off, Sapphire out there in the chat was there. We started off on the streets dealing with crazy people. So I get what some of these situations are like. The woman, no child can consent to being sterilized. First, do no harm. So she's against the LGBT agenda. These are people that are for the LGBT agenda. Totally peaceful and calm.
You're still a woman. You're still a woman. You're still a woman.
Stop fucking harassing me. Fuck off.
You're a woman. You're a woman.
I am 17 years old. You're gonna harass me?
No, but tell your mom not to do fuck off and die. She thought she was trans too.
Oh, I just don't understand how that whole trans movement ever took off, how it ever got any kind of credibility or whatever you want to call it. The left is nuts, guys. The left is nuts. So, like, there's a reason that the right thinks that the left is stupid. They're not all stupid, but too many of them act like this lady who saw this woman wearing this shirt. I like my country how I like my tea, filled with ice. That's the shirt she had on. And she ended up going to a doctor's appointment. And how dare she? The problem is that the left and so many people out there, the right does it too, but when I see someone who disagrees with them and they got I am compelled to tell you how I feel. I have to tell you why you're wrong. You're wrong. And I have to tell you, I have to give you something to think about. And I have to scream and yell so that I can walk away from this conversation feeling like the white knight, feeling like a vindicated person, a virtuous person who's just out there to help people.
Bye, honey. Bye. I'm gonna bye. No, you're not. No, you need to stop harassing me. I'm at a doctor's appointment. I don't need your harassment. You need to go away. You need to go away.
She has to tell her what she thinks. You're wrong because. I think you're wrong because. And you know what the reason is? The reason is almost always, you're wrong because my group said so. My group told me you're wrong.
You need to not block my door.
I just want you to think about what you're wearing.
Go away. Get off my back. Leave me alone, freak. Stop. Stop. I'm at a doctor's office. Stop.
Seems like common sense. Stop it. I don't know if she came back in or what.
You don't know. You need to stop harassing me. Now you're harassing my mom. You need to stop. I'm sorry. Please stop. I'm very sorry about that. My apologies. You need to stop. I'm at a doctor's appointment. You need to just stop. You need to stop. You need to go.
She desperately wants her to come outside so she can correct her, so she can talk to her about why she's wrong for supporting ICE.
Honey, you need to go. You need to go. Yes, you need to go. You need to go.
You are the bad person. You are. She's like, I'm not the bad person. It's important that you know.
You need to stop. You need to go. Honey, you need to go. You need to go. Yes, you need to go. You need to go. You're harassing me right now. You're coming back at me. You need to go. No, I'm not going outside because you don't have the time. I want to wait for my appointment.
I know. We're going to be right here.
No, I don't need a 2-minute discussion with you. It is my right to wear what I want. It is my First Amendment.
Listen, let me just call back the Hunt police and have them come.
All right. You need to stop. You need to stop. No, you need to stop. You're harassing me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Who the hell are you to tell somebody what they can wear and what they can't wear? You know, I should have went to that thing yesterday. There was a protest at Fetterman's house. I didn't find out about it until like an hour before. And he lives like, I think it's like 30 minutes from where I'm at. But there was a protest at his house, and I was thinking about going. I didn't go, but I should have went, and I should have worn one of my shirts that are just for protesting. It says in the style of Black Lives Matter shirts, it says MAGA Lives Matter. And that would just make people angry, I think. Politics became a religion, yeah. Yeah. If you're on the wrong side, you're not very intelligent. I mean, if you're on the wrong side, you're not very intelligent. See, that's the kind of stuff that we've been taught to do. I don't think that everyone on the left is stupid. That would be a stupid thing to think. I don't think everyone on the left is stupid. I don't think everyone on the right is stupid or mean or whatever. You can't paint with those broad brushes. You can't be like, oh, he disagrees with me. And I don't know which side you fall on. It doesn't really matter. It's either side this works on. Oh, he doesn't agree with me, so that must mean he's stupid, or he's a pedophile supporter, or he's a whatever. Fill in the blank. That's what they do. That's how groups keep you in their group and hating other groups. Shut them down. Don't listen to the conversation, because if you listen to too much conversation, it might make sense after a little while. And then they'll go, and they'll start thinking about it. And they'll start thinking about it. And that's what we need them to do. We all need to understand that. Like I'm going to play this little clip. I don't know I think it's the one I'm thinking of. This is Yuri Bezmenov.
The highest art of warfare is not to fight at all. but to subvert anything of value in the country of your enemy, until such time that the perception of reality of your enemy is screwed up to such an extent that he does not perceive you as an enemy, and that your system, your civilization, and your ambitions look to your enemy as an alternative, if not desirable, then at least visible.
They don't want to play with me, they afraid of me, I know.
Yeah, the left calls you an authoritarian fascist not because you are, but because they are. Why protest Fetterman? Because he's not towing the party line, because he's thinking independently, because he's not falling in line with the Democrats. That's why. It's the same thing across the whole liberal spectrum. If you step out of line, like you can be one of their aces, man. You can be on the left, you can be organizing stuff and all that kind of crap and really be involved in the movement. They can love you. You're the best. You're the greatest. Until you disagree. Once you disagree with them, you're out. That's it. Once you step out of line, you better get right back in. You better get right back in. Yeah, Fetterman, to me, as far as he goes, yeah, I have respect for Fetterman. He listens to his constituents. He is a statesman. I never thought in a million years I'd ever say that. But he appears to be a statesman. And I saw his career in Braddock, Pennsylvania, where it's just a crap town. And I've seen him, I'm in Pennsylvania. He was our lieutenant governor for a couple years there under COVID and some other stuff. And I've never been a fan. I've always disliked Fetterman. But I respect him. And that's the difference. We used to respect those people in office. We used to have some respect for them because they deserved it, because they acted in a way that made us inclined to want to respect them. You knew they were out there fighting for you and not out there fighting for their politics or their career or any of that stuff. So he's a statesman. Country over party. What a crazy idea nowadays. That's a thing, guys. That's a thing. Country over party. Wow. What an amazing idea. So he puts his country over his party, and the left freaks out about it. They can't stand it. They hate that. So they protest him. Actually, Fetterman was there. That traitorous Capitol police officer. He was there. He was in town for some book signing. And I was thinking, I'm like, I could go down to that book signing. I could take my camera. I could get in line. I could get a book sign. I could scream and yell at him. I could make a scene really easily. I could make a scene and call him out for some of his lies right there in front of everybody. I could record it. I could put it online. It would probably get a lot of hits. That'd probably go viral. Who knows? The problem is, I don't want to go viral like that. That's low hanging fruit type stuff. So many people go out there and just do outrageous things. For instance, that Marine. So many people will go out there and just do whatever. No principles. They're just trying to get more power. Once they're a politician, they just want more power. It becomes, instead of a race to get power, now it becomes a race just to get more power, to get to the front of the Democrat ticket, to be one of those major players in the party out there in the front. Once you're out there in the front, once you achieve that status, that Senator Schumer status or Nancy Pelosi status or any of these people that have been there for all these years, once you achieve that, you're almost never going to get kicked out of office. Because number one, you've been there so long, your name recognition is just out of this world. Anyone standing against you it's going to be a tough fight. And the other thing is, it's a valid point, is that once you've been there for a while, you start to understand how the system works, and you can become a more effective congressperson. I want Congress people that are in the background that you don't know their names, the ones back there doing the right thing. I'm sure there's one or two. I'm sure there's one or two of those out there doing the right thing, but you'll never hear about it because there's so many of them out there doing the wrong thing, like hiding their own abuses. They should never let that go. Nancy Mace should never let that go. She should make that a priority of her whole career to expose those clowns in Congress for what they actually are. Expose these people that take advantage of their interns and young women and use their power to get what they want. It's not so different than Harvey Weinstein and how in Hollywood. It's kind of exactly the same thing, really. Congress is a snake pit. It doesn't have to be a snake pit. It's just become a snake pit because we have allowed it to become a snake pit by not standing up and not correcting them when they needed to. It's time to stop being consumers, guys. It's time to start fighting for this country. We cannot just suck up everything it has to offer. Politicians get in office and seek more power. That's all they do. That's it. That's the whole point of the game. Except for this one. Representative Stacey Marie Lawton, the first openly transgender person elected to the New Hampshire House of Representatives. I got something in my eyeball. Pull this up here. The first openly transgender person elected to the New Hampshire House of Representatives pleaded guilty to child sex abuse charges against children as young as 3 years old. Lawton's partner took naked photos of children between the ages of 3 and 5 in a daycare bathroom and sent them to Lawton. The couple sent thousands of text messages about the children, with Lawton requesting access to have sex with them. Lawton faces 30 years in prison for the charges. Do you think 30 years is a just punishment for the crime? We're going to have all kind of problems with these LGBT insanity for years to come because the mental damage that these absolute clowns on the left have disguised as gender affirming care has destroyed these people mentally, physically, emotionally. We're going to be dealing with the damage caused by this whole movement for decades. Decades. I'm glad it's almost over, to be quite honest. I had my children tell me the other day, I said something about, let me know if the kids are planning to do an ICE protest walkout at the school. And my kid said, they're not going to do that. They'd get like 10 people. And I'm like, oh, good. And then I said, well, just because I remember they did that LGBT walkout a couple of years back that got, I was in the that's where some of the videos in my entry where I'm standing at the school board, giving them he said, no, they're not going to be an LGBT thing. He's like, they don't do that anymore. No one really does that anymore. I'm like, oh, good. That's a good thing. No one should. No one should. No one really does that anymore. The youth are waking up. I have a lot of kids, all school age kids. I deal with them and their friends as well. And I have a lot of hope, and you should too, for the kids coming up in this generation right now. I have a lot of hope for them because they're not woke. They're sick of being woke. They're sick of having the trans agenda forced on them. They're sick of it. They've been tormented and tortured through the whole COVID era. Nothing's been the same since that happened. As far as schools go, everything seems a little different ever since COVID came. Things got better from 20 to 24 when inflation was at 9%. I love not being able to afford groceries or gas. Right? Yes, I won't. I remember because what we did with our kids, we have a lot of kids. We have 5. So we had all those kids at school, and I got HIPAA letters and put some stuff together and sent them to school with them and said, if I told my kids, I said, if you want to wear one, you wear one whenever you need to so that you don't feel ostracized in public. I don't know how they were pressuring these kids. But you don't have to wear it if you don't want to. And my daughter was in first grade. I think it was first grade at the time. Or maybe it was kindergarten, but she had to wear a mask on the bus. And I told her, what did she got to school? You take that thing off if you don't want to wear it. And she didn't wear it, man. Proud of my little girl. She didn't wear it. She didn't put up with it. But remember, kindergarten. So because of that, she got punished by, like, whenever they would have circle time, she had to sit in the other side of the room all by herself. And whenever they went to the lunch line, she had to walk at the back of the line every time because she wasn't wearing a mask and blah, 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 blah. But she still stood up against that. She still didn't cave and put her mask on. I'm very proud of her for that. So we didn't do that. But the school district, they don't like us. They do not like us very much. That's pretty obvious. It's the truth. The only thing our government is looking at is how much money they can steal and how much they can harm the American citizens. When I'm talking about these kids nowadays, I'm not talking about this one. It says dad walks out on daughter's birthday dinner. He gave her $500, but she wanted a car. Who's wrong? I mean, we're pretty clear who's wrong here. I'm pretty sure I already know, but let's just check this out.
Took her out to eat, bought you a pack, now you want a car.
Bro, literally, you haven't done nothing for me in like how many years? Like
$500. What are you talking about? Just gave you $500 for your birthday.
In 25 years of living, thanks. 25 years of living, you're my dad. The least you could have done is the $500 in a car after 25 years.
You know what? Since you're so unappreciative, you pay for your own food. How about that?
That's fine.
What? You're not getting that $500 if you're my kid. You're not getting any of that stuff. If you grow up with that kind of an entitlement, I mean, obviously I'm going to look at myself because I raised you, so that's probably got something to do with how we raised you for sure, but my goodness. MAGA are the ultimate flip-floppers. No integrity. Okay. Oh, hang on one second. Oh, I saw that earlier. I used to have a button for it, but
is called a born loser. A real Munson.
There. That's funny. Good old movies, good old time movies are good stuff. My daughter decided the jab just so she can finish high school. It still kills me to this day. Yeah, I know it's tough, man. Like my twin brother was forced into getting it for work so he could keep his job. I had my own business at that time, so I wasn't forced into any of that stuff, which was great. I had that freedom. On the side note, I also wasn't allowed to work anymore. I wasn't allowed. Shots were never mandated. MAGA is still fuming over what happened 6 years ago. It's hard. Where were you when that happened? Are you kidding me? Like, I had brothers and stuff that all had to get it because they were going to lose their job. Yeah, it was never legally mandated. No, but it was mandated for sure. Don't you remember the Biden out there calling out half of Americans who won't get the shot as being dangerous, and all the other propaganda and garbage he threw at us because of that. Come on, man. Be real. Don't be so, I don't know. Just be real. It's way easier to be real. On the side of those of you who don't know, Al Munson guy in here is a guy that's been following us around for many years. He's a big fan. And he's been following us around for years. And he tries to get under people's skin and that kind of stuff. He's basically what you would call a bottom feeder. So like he'll come in. He's one of those guys that'll come in and try to take over the chat, trying to get to blah, 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 blah. So just take that guy with a grain of salt. Usually he's respectful. And like I don't kick anybody out usually unless they're really disrespectful to people in the chat. So outside of that, we usually let it go. This is what a dictatorship looks like. The Texas City police chief should be fired for what was captured on camera at Texas City Commission meeting. Wait until you see why this citizen was manhandled and charged with crime. So he spoke up. He basically just says his 3 minutes are up. His 3 minutes are up. And the police chief turns around. He didn't like that very much.
It's past 3 minutes. It's past 3 minutes. That's wrong, man.
We received nothing. We received that on January 28th, 2026.
You don't gotta touch me. I can step on myself. You ain't gotta touch me, dude. Go ahead. You ain't gotta touch me. What did I do wrong? What did you do? What did I do wrong? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not my hands on my back, bro. I'm not listening. Bro, I am not fighting back.
I know you're not rich.
What they arrest this guy for?
I am relaxed, bro. You the one keep making wrong. I can't do that. Both my arms. Look, my head. I'll put it together. What are y'all tripping on? Bro, I'm not fighting back. Bro, look out there.
Hey, relax.
Bro, you put in my arm, dude.
You're not putting handcuffs on.
Fuck, dude. Bro, you don't have to do that. My hands are voluntary.
Deal out of nothing, dude. You're a big guy. Relax,
bro. This dude,
he's not doing anything that we.
He's putting my arm down, bro.
Relax. Just relax. Relax.
Bro, I'm good.
Relax.
What did I do wrong?
Hey, first.
Bro, dude, oh man.
You can follow us outside this court all you want.
Obama dropped like 26,000 bombs, I think.
We got a patrol unit that you bring around.
Bro, I didn't do that. Don't get lost with me.
I got you.
For interfering, bro? For interfering?
No.
Word? Nice to meet you, bro. I didn't even put my glasses, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, keep saying my
You said
glasses.
about 3 minutes being up, that's it.
For sure, of course. What I do wrong, though?
I know. You
They said I volunteered to meet. I ain't do nothing.
Right?
And then he said, I put my arm on myself. He said, trying to break my arm, man.
Relax.
Just tell me to relax.
Relax.
Yeah, that's cool. My wife.
No, but you can have.
That's
your phone
unbelievable.
In case you. So what is he getting arrested
Yeah,
for?
he said.
Are y'all arresting him?
Yeah, I don't even know what I did. He said involuntary or messing up the meeting.
What did you do? You didn't do anything.
I don't know.
said something. Everybody was saying stuff.
I'm gonna put that phone back in there, right? You wanna keep him right this
Back,
way?
do I have to keep my phone?
Yeah, keep it. In case you have something.
This is silly, man. This is silly, man.
Stand by real quick.
How do they not? I don't know.
What am I going to jail for now?
I need to know who's arresting officers. Who's arresting him?
Who's the arresting officer?
Landis is.
Who is the arresting officer?
How do they not remember the mandates? I don't know. I guess they're that was on the left, so they don't remember it anymore. COVID happening during Trump, you dolt. This is This is right here a great example right here. Right there. That comment right there. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who it happened under. It was wrong. Operation Warp Speed was wrong. Don't tell MAGA I said that. Don't tell MAGA that I said that. Because we all have to drink the Kool-Aid, remember? We're all supposed to drink the Kool-Aid. Trump was wrong. Trump was
Wrong.
Did you hear that? I said Trump was wrong out loud. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's the point. They think just because it happened under Trump, I am supposed to support that. No. Trump makes mistakes. You believe that? Trump makes mistakes. It's okay. I know there are going to be mistakes made. I know he's not going to do every single thing I like. I know what happened during COVID. I know there was too many people left in the government from previous administrations. I know Trump trusted the wrong people. I know he made some bad decisions. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not out here like, oh, Trump's the best and he does everything right and he never does anything wrong. You know what's more important than party? Being this. Indivisible. I just talked the other day about the American family. The American family. We forget about it. We forget that we're all a family. America is the house and we're the family. It used to be that way. America used to be like a family, at least more so. There's always been fighting and infighting, all that kind of stuff, and racism or whatever. There's always been that stuff. It's always gonna be there. We don't have to push it. We don't have to push it. But we need to be able to talk to each other and understand that we're all in the same boat. We're all part of the American family, all of us. Doesn't matter our differences. Brothers and sisters have differences too. What matters is the blood that we share. Blood that was shed by your ancestors and my ancestors for that flag. To help provide and protect the nation that my American brothers and sisters have today. They died then. We're a family. We disagree. It's fine. We disagree with stuff. That's fine. Don't let it make you hate me. Don't let my vote for Trump make you hate me. Because guess what? It's not you hating me. It would be you following the group that says to hate me. Or following the group's principles as if they have any. That tell you not to listen to me or to hate me or whatever. Meanwhile, I'm one of the ones out here saying, let's talk to each other. Let's talk to each other. We aren't going to agree all the time. But that doesn't mean we have to argue and fight with each other. I talk about how right now what we do is we debate with each other. And debating doesn't help us, it divides us. Debating the way that we do now. Debating the way in a constructive, in the arena of ideas, where we can have, and you could take those two ideas and you can put them through the ringer, and this side can argue for their side and this side can argue for their idea, and then the best idea wins. I don't give a what side that comes from. If it's good for America, it's good for all of us. The government, those in charge, the world order, the elites, the puppet masters, whatever you want to call them. Their first job is to make us fight. Make us fight with each other. Make us hate each other. But you'll find when we have an actual conversation, when I've ever had a conversation with anybody on the left, a true conversation, it always ends better. We have to focus on the fact that we're in the same damn boat. If your side of the boat is sinking, I am not going to celebrate that because I'm not a maroon. I already know that, hey, guess what? If that side of the boat sinks, then my side of the boat's next. Times are crazy. We talked about this week. Times are crazy out there. It's hectic. It's chaos. The fog of war is all around. Who knows what to believe? Sometimes you have to just say, I don't know what I don't know, or I know what I don't know. I'm not going to know these facts. I have to just kind of, so don't sit there and just let it ruin your whole day if you can't figure it out. One thing that we can do in times like those is, or we're trying to navigate these things, is run to our family. Turn to your family, not to government or the media, not to institutions or organizations or groups, especially not the groups that fermented much of the division that we see in America now. No, run to your family. Not your family, although I'm sure your family is great. To the American family. We're all part of it. I haven't looked at the chat for a little bit, but like that Al Munson guy that says, we're all brothers and sisters, man. You're my brother, whether you like it or not. In this American family. We can fight and argue and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine, but we need to be able to come back together like blood. Or all we're going to do is fight and argue. Debate. I want to have a conversation. Not too many good things come out of debate. I prefer a conversation. I prefer to understand who you are, why you think what you think, rather than just saying, oh, you think that? Well, that must mean you're a pedo supporter. Or you must be evil. You must be an evil person because you believe something different than I believe. It's a trick. We've all fallen for it. They know if America is united, they can't stand against us. We have to stop the people in charge from dividing us. We declare hate for people we don't even know just because of things that they say, they believe. Simply because our ignorance allowed us to be guided by a desired result. Sheep do that. We need to start thinking about ourselves as an American family. I talked about this on Thursday night, but man, it's so spot on. Our differences alone do not divide us. Differences don't divide us. Propaganda, narratives, lies, that divides us. That influences us to the outcome that they want, which is us fighting each other.
Ready for the...
Did you know that Democrat Seth Moulton, yes, Seth Moulton, brought an illegal immigrant to President Trump's State of the Union speech? Turns out Marcelo Gomez da Silva is in 2 police reports involving sexual assault and minors. So at the State of the Union, he brought him, but then he made him hide in his office. So he did this little stupid interview, and then he made him hide in his office.
I'm here with Marcelo getting ready for the State of the Union tonight. This is going to be a wild speech. They say it might go 3 hours, so you were smart to be drinking Red Bull before. I'm going to have a coffee. There are probably going to be a lot of lies, a lot of lies, a lot of hateful stuff that he's going to say. That's what he does. How are you feeling about that?
I wouldn't say I'm super excited. There's a lot of morals that he has that I don't agree with. A lot of the things that he's doing lately are separating multiple families, and I don't agree with it.
I'm here with Marcelo getting ready for the State of the
Who cares what he thinks? Speaking of who cares what he thinks, remember when Republicans broke a veteran's arm for speaking against Israel this week? Magtards. I do. I remember that. Too bad, so sad. Play stupid games. FAFO and all that hubbub. I don't care one lick about that guy's arm. Not one lick. Don't be a schmuck. Don't abuse the uniform. Don't use it, that sacred uniform. Don't use it as a political prop to get your candidacy. It's so despicable. It's despicable. I have a video on it. I just put up, I think, yesterday. This is me talking about it just the other day here. The Marine that, well, you'll see.
Reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel.
This boy's telling him to stand up. This is at a Senate Armed Services hearing this week.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters.
Keep in mind that this guy knew what he was doing. So he threw himself on the ground. He hooked himself on the wall. I've seen them take people out of these before, and they don't fight. They simply keep screaming until they're gone. But this guy kind of fight. He doesn't fight, but he's got the tactics down. Yes, he does.
For Israel.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what is he getting kicked out for? Because he's speaking out, or because of what he's saying, or what?
Because he's interrupting the hearing.
Okay.
It's a Senate proceeding. You can't just interrupt it because you want to do a publicity stunt for your upcoming campaign. So this is the 100%. What are we going to wake up? Yeah, there you go. You're talking about the tard that broke his own hand while resisting being removed from the grounds. Did it make you cry a little? Tell us about your precious feelings. Show me on the doll. Yes, but they blamed on a Republican senator, and it was for security guards pulling on the guy. I don't care what happened to his arm. I don't care one bit what happened to that guy's arm. I almost hope it was broke. Almost, but that wouldn't be very Christian of me. I almost do, because that's the kind of stuff we need less of. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't do anything for anybody. Think about it. What he did didn't help anybody except him. That's who he did it for. I don't care about his arm. I don't care. I don't care one bit. What's that? News. Man who allegedly planted over 20 explosives near Liberty Memorial in Kansas City has identified as an illegal migrant, 22-year-old Owen J. Canizales Aguerta. Faced up to 140 years. Yes, exactly. You don't have a constitutional right to be a public nuisance. Can you show me where that right is protected? No, they can't. Then quit blaming Biden. You don't. It's amazing how politically motivated people like Land Shark don't get it. They have selective memory. They don't remember all the villainizing that Biden did. They don't remember that speech in front of the red building with the Marines behind it that so closely resembled a speech that Hitler gave. Do you think that was an accident? Yeah, an earthquake happened during Trump. Let's blame him for that too. Amen. Warp speed was wrong. We said that when he was doing it. That's why Trump wasn't the one who mandated them. It's amazing how people can remember things so crooked because of their motivations and their biases, force them into believing things and defending things that just aren't true. I'll have to put a thing together of Biden villainizing the American people because of that. Well, quick.
If the unvaccinated get vaccinated, they will protect themselves and other unvaccinated people around them. If they do not, states with low vaccination rates may see those rates go up, may see this progress reversed. Ultimately, those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price. If the unvaccinated get vaccinated,
You don't remember all these things?
help us beat this virus. If incentives help us beat this virus, I believe we should use them. We all benefit if we can get more people vaccinated. But in addition to providing incentives to encourage vaccination, it's time to impose requirements on key groups to make sure they're vaccinated. Excuse me. Just this week, we took an important step to protect our veterans. Like many civilian hospital systems are doing, the Department of Veterans Affairs will now require COVID-19 vaccines for doctors and nurses and other healthcare workers who provide medical care for our veterans.
Oh, he said
We
required.
must do everything possible to protect
Did
our
he say
veterans.
required? It sounded like he said required. He wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have said that, right? No. Where's that one? Oh, that's weird. You can't find that speech so easy anymore. I have to look it up. That one where he was in front of the red building with the Marines and stuff. You people are prone to violence. MAGA will flee to I'm sorry, this probably deserves it.
MAGA will flee to Argentina just like their Nazi ancestors did when accountability time comes.
Let me ask Captain Olimar. All due respect. Do you really believe, like honestly now, be honest, right? No reason to lie here. We're all friends here. This is the American family. I am your brother. All right? We're kin. Remember, do you really believe, that all of MAGA are Nazis? Like, for instance, do you believe that I am a Nazi? That's a good question. To Captain Olimar, do you believe that I'm a Nazi? I'm curious to hear the response to that one. But that's the problem. They're all Nazis. They're all Nazis. It's ridiculous. It's like I played this. I'm going to play it again. I played this before. Stop it. Stop it, Biden. Shut up. This is probably one of the. Let's go. Where's that? Oh, yeah, I spelled it. Hang on. We'll get there. There we go. So this is from a creator called Freedom Tunes, and it's spot on. This came out a couple years back, but it's spot on.
Freedom Tunes.
Okay, folks, so as you know, Nazism is on the rise and we need to stop them, which is why I've invented a time machine to bring back the people who defeated Nazism in the first place.
Perfect.
Yes!
Hey, this ain't Normandy.
What gives? What year is it?
It's 2018!
Why did you say that so weird?
Sorry, force of habit. We brought you to the future because Nazism is on the rise in the US, and our president is sympathetic to them.
What?
Hang on. Are these yeses in the chat? I see yeses and nos. Are those answers to if you think I'm a Nazi? Is that what we're doing here?
Here's a pamphlet with all his positions.
This fella's disgusting.
Right?
This boyfriend thinks two men can get married. What?
Isn't that a man who cuts his dongle off as a woman?
Sounds more like a commie to me, but hey, same difference. I'll kill either one.
That's not what's bad about him.
It gets worse. What else are these Nazis doing?
They believe there are only two genders.
Well, of course there's more than two genders. Thank goodness. Yeah, the Russians have their gender, the Germans have their gender, the Japanese have their gender. Everybody's got an agenda.
No, not agenda. Gender.
What the hell is gender?
Sounds like some kind of phony word popularized in the 50s to create a false distinction between one identity and their biological sex. Am I in a ballpark here? Your sex is whether you're male or female, but your gender is how you identify. So if you were born a man but want to become a woman, your gender identity is as a woman, and you therefore are a woman. No, what?
So you guys think men can be women?
Well, that's the biggest crock of nonsense I ever heard.
Yeah, none of this sounds like Nazism to me.
Well, how about this? He wants people to pay for their own birth control.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Right?
Birth control is legal?
The guys who defeated Nazism are such Nazis.
You know, I don't like you pinkos going around telling people you're fighting Nazis just because you berate everyone you disagree with. You've never fought a Nazi in your life, and to claim otherwise is stolen valor.
Yeah. And you know what? When actual Nazis come around, no one's going to want to fight them anymore because you guys keep crying wolf.
Now let's go back and win ourselves a war.
You know, I almost don't want to anymore. Wait! Don't go! We need you!
We need to say you're on our side so we can convince the greater whole of society to accept violence against dissidents who stand in the way of the social order we seek to establish.
And how exactly are they the Nazis?
Because I call them Nazis.
Yep.
Well, you call men women, so...
Yeah, they're gonna fall in Freedom Tunes. They make some pretty funny content out there. So that many people think that I'm a Nazi. Wow. That's amazing. Here, let me help you out. Oh, look at that. I got a shaved head. I probably am then, right? 76 is a cult, though. It's like a clown. Praxis. Oh. Yeah, that's crazy. See how many people in the chat there think that I'm a Nazi because I'm a conservative. So they think I'm a Nazi. So all those people did there was just admit to their brainwashing. All those yeses, all those yeses up there, those are all subverted people. They're all showing their stupidity. That's stupidity. That's how you've been totally subverted. I noticed that the one person I actually asked, I didn't see an answer. Oh, right there. Yes, rub that bald head. But you didn't answer. So you think I'm personally a Nazi then? That's me. I'm a Nazi because I believe in some conservative Okay. All right. So that's where we're at now. That makes more sense then if I can gauge where they're coming from. It makes more sense. I'm gonna have to get me. I'm gonna have to get into this chat. That's for sure. I got a couple more things to cover, but I'm gonna need to get a refill of my coffee. You guys, can you hold out? Can you hold out while I do that? See if I can't find something to put on for you while we're waiting. Let's see here. I don't know if this is long enough. I want to put something on that it's not going to cut out right before I come back, so you're not having to sit and wait. But I guess that's not going to. Here, Fetterman's comments the other day are great. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. Stay there in the chat. Harris, Grandpa laughs at 10-year-old cartoon humor. That super intelligent guy. Don't go anywhere, Captain Olimar. You are outstanding. I'm gonna need you. You need to stay here. All right, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. You gotta get this coffee refilled. I'll play this for just a few minutes.
The administration detail what the end game is here about when this war may actually end and how they plan to achieve the objective?
I'm saying it's like, I think we can all agree. I mean, find a senator in here that says we should never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. Have you know anyone that says they're okay with them having a nuclear weapon? I haven't met any of them. So for me, this entire thing was that end game is make sure that's destroyed, I'm sure. That's part of it, make sure there's no way they could ever acquire a nuclear bomb. And it seems that. And then also the other missile technologies for that. So everything that I've heard there, to me, it just essentially, there's no new shocking kinds of news or any of it.
But wasn't the nuclear program set back in June when when the attacks initially happened? Why did this additional attack need to happen?
Well, that's part of the brief.
What did they tell you?
Senator, are you comfortable with the fact that Congress was left out of the decision-making process?
Well, what does the War Powers Resolution in 73 say? It says that the president has to provide 48 hours of notification, and he's done that. And then they have up to 60 days, perhaps a 30 days extension. And there's no boots on the ground. And it's been into 100 hours so far. So where has anything been broken or they haven't made every standard?
How do you describe the fact that how do you describe the fact that you're the only Senate Democrat, though, with that position?
Because I'm the Democrat. I'm aware that it's pretty toxic for a Democrat to say I happen to agree with the president on really anything at this point. But again, find someone that opposes this, saying they've all said we could never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. Then what's and that seems like that's happening. Why can't you just acknowledge that's a good thing? Why not?
Because they can't. They just can't. That would have to be being honest. You know what's funny is these people out here, they're like, you're a racist, you're a fascist, you're whatever you are, yada, yada, yada. You're a racist. That's the difference, right? So I can look at this guy, whatever his name was, Captain Clown. I can look at Captain Clown as he's calling me a Nazi and stuff like that, and it doesn't make me angry. I don't care what he thinks I am. I really don't. It makes me sad for him, to be honest, because all that person tells me is that they are subverted. That they are willing to write off a whole group of Americans, brothers and sisters, because they think differently than them. And not only that, but because they think differently, they become Nazis or bigots or whatever. And guess what? It's never really true. It's usually just the label that they're putting on somebody so that then they are less effective or people won't listen to them. But the fact is like this clown out here, he's a clown. His opinions are kind of ridiculous. He's an emotional thinker. He's a lefty. That's fine. I think his ideas are stupid. I think his policies are dumb. I think his motivations are emotional and not factual or any of that stuff. But guess what? I'm not going to call him a pedophile protector. I'm not going to call him a racist. I'm not going to call him a Nazi. I'm just going to say, you know what? We disagree. And that's okay to disagree. For us, it's okay on our side to disagree because we appreciate honest debate. Honest debate. Not just screaming and yelling. So that clown out there will call me a Nazi because he doesn't like what I'm saying. And the group that leads him, because he's a puppet, he's a lemming, the group that leads him into that belief, they're the ones that planted that into his head. They're the ones that want division. They want him not to listen to anybody. And he follows along just like the puppet that he is, because many Americans have been conditioned into that reaction. Just go along to get along. Just go with the group. The group says I'm not supposed to like that guy, but we're supposed to be indivisible. We're supposed to be indivisible. Yeah, Captain Clown, I disagree with you. But just because I disagree with you, it doesn't make me a Nazi. You have to call me a Nazi so you can dismiss me without having to consider any of my ideas, without having to consider any of the words that I use. See, that allows you to dismiss me. Don't you see what is happening to you? You can dismiss me because you have to. You have to dismiss me. It's the training that the left gets. Find a reason to dismiss or attack that person personally. Personally is best. That hurts more. Attack them personally because people hurt more than institutions. You need to read Saul Alinsky's 12 Rules for Radicals. Maybe you'll start to understand why you believe what you believe, or why you've been used as a puppet to spread this kind of false garbage to separate Americans more than it works more than anything else. Attack people personally, call them a Nazi. Someone else comes in and sees me talking, but then this guy says, oh, that guy's a Nazi. And then they go, oh, that guy's a Nazi. I'm going to go somewhere else without listening to the words. It's not about labeling people because they deserve the label. It's about labeling people so they're less effective. It's about labeling people so that their words aren't listened to anymore. It's about taking away the voice of the opposition. That's the only goal. They are not about defeating us in debates, which, to be fair, if they went on policy, sometimes they could win those, but they can't go on policy because, first of all, they don't know the policy. And second of all, they're foot soldiers. They're pawns. They're lemmings that are out there just repeating the party line, repeating what the group says. Oh, that guy's a fascist. That guy's a fascist. Well, what do fascists believe? I don't know. They said he's a fascist. He's a racist. He's a racist. Well, where's your proof? I don't know where my proof is. There isn't any. That group just told me to say that he's a rapist. They told me to say that he molested children. Because guess what? That language is so strong that it's going to repel most people. We were in D.C. just protesting for our constitutional rights and a return to states' rights. That was it. And we had to face protesters, if you want to call them that. Really, most of them were just grifters trying to make some money. Didn't have anything else going on in their lives. Some of them literally got out of bed in the midst of a depression to come down there and cheer himself up by calling people pedophiles and murderers and things like that, so that the people walking by wouldn't stop to talk to us for even a moment, because they would walk by like this because, oh my God, pedophiles, I don't want to talk to them. When are you going to see? What are you going to understand? No, man. Yeah, there's probably some Nazis on both sides. They exist. Sure, they exist. They exist. But the people you're calling those things aren't those things almost ever. Don't you understand that you've been just trained like a dog to react the way that you do? There's nothing that I'm saying that's hateful. I haven't said anything hateful. I'm not angry. I'm not mean. I'm reasonable. I'm factual. I'm logical. And I'm willing to change my mind if new information presents itself. And that's where we should all be. Open to changing our minds. We've all changed our minds over the years. We've all done it. That language is so dumb. Like, all it does is make you, it just exposes that you're a damn puppet. That's all it does. It's sad to me that there's so many, I mean, ignorant, I don't want to call them stupid. They're not stupid. They're intelligent people that are fooled by this stuff. But man, dude, how can some people be so gullible? It's so simple. Unite or die. Unite or die. I spoke about this the other day. We all share the same basic national values. We're tied to them by the same foundational ideas of freedom, opportunity, the pursuit of happiness, the American dream. Those things unite beyond race or ethnicity. Oh, whatever. It's early still. Or your origin. Like, family members share a common heritage and a household rules. We don't respect each other anymore because the group says not to. So you actually spent time typing this message. Like, these people out here are just amazing.
All it takes to make a person more conservative is brain damage from a massive stroke. All you do when you say those kind of comments is make yourself look stupid. You look stupid. Oh. Don't you see how stupid you look when you say stuff like that? Like, what happened to Americans? We don't know anymore. You just spit out negativity and anger at people and you don't even consider anything else. So Captain Clown has gotten kind of quiet. Makes sense. Yeah, there's no power in those anymore. I think MAGA is stupid. But you're talking about a whole group of people. Nice to meet you as well. About affordability. I could talk about that all day, man. People just, they get fooled so easily into believing the negativity stuff. Like, all MAGA people are not Nazis. That's ridiculous. That takes away from what Nazis actually were. They were horrible. Horrible. Some of the worst people to ever walk the earth. Do you ever wonder why they use those words so much? It's the same ones. Oh, by the way, I've seen bootlicker has now faded into obscurity. That was their new one. The words they use: pedophile, rapist. All those horrible words. Nazi. Yada yada yada. They go for the most destructive wording they possibly can, because the point is not to actually point out that you're a Nazi with any kind of facts or anything to back that up with. The point is just to silence you. Just to take away your voice. That's all they can do. It gets a bit ridiculous. But I just wish people would see that. Like, these people out here calling me a Nazi. Like, I don't care what you call me. It doesn't bother me any. I know that that's the point, is to get under my skin. It doesn't bother me. All you are is exposing your stupidity. That's it. Everything looks stupid to you because you're not open-minded. Saying you're open-minded doesn't mean you are. Look how easy Trump fooled you guys. Cool story, bruh. I got one hater in chat. Nobody cares about the national. What we're talking about, the same thing we've been telling you for 15 years. Why do you keep changing the subject? The next thing you're going to be going on about aliens. Okay. I guess. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to change any hearts or minds here, I imagine. Commented makes a great point. At no point has bigot black hat. Oh, I thought it was red hats you hated. Now you hate black hats. Is that racist? Are you allowed to do that? Make black hats great again. Commented, I think you meant commenter. Commenter makes a great point. At no point has bigot black hat ever demonstrated an open mind, only openly mocking others. I mean, you can believe that if you want to, I guess. That's the whole point, is having an open mind and being able to change it whenever new information presents itself. But that doesn't go along with your narrative. So you have to try to prove it wrong. Oh, he says he has an open mind, but he doesn't have an open mind. He just wants to make fun of people. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if morons come in the chat and say dumb things, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of them because it's funny. It's funny. It doesn't mean I hate you, though. It doesn't mean I think you're a pedo protector. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that you and me disagree with each other as far as I'm concerned. But on your end, you hate me. You loathe me because I think differently than you do. So that means that I should be silenced. Well, I don't think that you should be silenced. I think you should be given a microphone. Let people see what you have to say. Spread that hate everywhere and see where it really gets you. Nowhere. It's not hard, man. It's not hard. It's like that stuff, like the language, they twist it because they think you're stupid. Right. So the left's bosses use language to control people. So they'll say,
affordability is a word Trump thinks is a Democrat hoax.
That's the same thing as when he said the Epstein files were a Democrat hoax. Let me explain it to you real slow. He doesn't think, I'm just going to use the Epstein files as an example, but you can apply it to this as well. He doesn't think that the Epstein files themselves are a hoax or that they don't exist. Okay. That was the narrative that the left ran with. Doesn't make any sense, but you don't have to make sense when you're talking to lemmings. What he meant when he said it was a hoax was that they were using it as a hoax. They were using it to say that he was in them and this and that and this and that, and it was a hoax. That's what he meant. Everyone knows that's what he meant, but the left will twist things every chance they get. And people think there was only one island and it's all of a sudden shut down. What a joke. Agreed. I'm sure this goes way deeper, but who knows? If you want the truth, you have to go to the source. So a lot of times I'll tell people, find the source material. Whenever you get a news story that's meant to, you know, what a lot of news stories are, garner some kind of a reaction. Whenever you get one of those, always find the source material. Do your best to find the source material. Because a lot of times these news agencies, it'll be some dumb, just some news agency that is like totally not reputable, totally biased, totally whatever. And they'll put out some news story at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then the people that crawl news to try to find news stories for the bigger networks will then take that news story. Oh, let's report this. And they can report it all they want because they can be like, yeah, Axios is reporting that this mug is really made of stone. Axios is reporting. And that separates them from it. So then they don't have to have any kind of accountability for what they report because they can just go, well, we found out it wasn't true, but Axios was reporting it. It wasn't us. It was Axios. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. 15 days to flatten the curve. Something wasn't right. Didn't go on to get along. That was tough, man. That was tough. I had a small business at the time. We have a lot of kids. We had a bunch of kids at home, schooling after a while, and I wasn't allowed to work and yada, yada, yada. That was a really tough time for small businesses in America. I never really got a count, but I'd be curious to know how many small businesses had to shut down during that whole COVID situation. I mean, it's got to be a lot. I know I was employing people and they lost their jobs. I had to close my company, you know. MAGAs don't try to silence anyone and are so full of love. I don't know about that either. I mean, there's some MAGAs out there that are horrible people too. Look at like the clowns that are out there protesting at the Portland ice facility still. What are they protesting? Each other? Like what are they doing? They're there to make money, they're there to cause problems, they're there to make viral videos and then record them so that they can be whatever and get donations. They're living off of it. There's bad people on both sides. That's the one thing I'm willing to say that a lot of people aren't willing to say. I come down on the side of truth no matter what. I don't care what side it comes down on. We only hurt ourselves if we don't rely on truth. If we push false narratives, if we do all that kind of stuff, it only ends up hurting us in the long run. Operation Epstein cover up theory. That all it is. I mean, if you really believe that he started this whole thing to cover up from the Epstein files, man, you must. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Can't we do better than that? Can't we do better? Yeah. He's not even in there. You know, I'm gonna read this. There was this one post. I'm gonna have to bring this up. There was this one post that I was looking at this morning. It was kind of a long read, but it was worth it. It was a guy's take on the whole situation with Trump and Epstein files and all that kind of stuff. If I find this darn thing. Where are you at? Where are you at? I know you're here somewhere. Dude, give me a sec. Here we go. What about Donald Trump? Isn't he in the Epstein files? Well, we have now read 1.39 million DOJ documents in the Epstein case. Everyone, pull this up. Bob, I'm not going to read the whole thing. This is a report from Kevin Bass on X. Blah, 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 blah. So in 2002, reached by fund for a New York Magazine profile, Trump gave the currently most weaponized quote in the entire archive. Quote, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. He's even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side, no doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. That quote's been cited thousands of times, yada, yada, yada. Those are the facts. Those are the facts. Friendship was real, but what happened next matters more. The falling out around 2004, that friendship ended. It goes through the whole situation. It's pretty good because it covers all the accusations. It's long. It's good. I'm not going to read this whole thing. These documents show a man who was part of an early social world he did not yet completely understand, who called a predator terrific before anyone knew what that predator was, who sent a crude birthday card before there was any reason not to, whose property was used as a hunting ground without his knowledge or permission, and who, when the investigation came, banned the predator from his club, picked up the phone for the victim's attorney, and was cleared by every investigative body that looked. 40 documents, every quote verbatim, every citation verifiable. Interesting. And if it's not enough, you could just say, hey, the Democrats would have released it if there was something in there. And, I guess that's where we're at. They knew about 15 years ago. I mean, how do you know that? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm open-minded. I wouldn't be surprised. Servant. Hey, look, he's mocking people again. Yeah, when people say stupid things, I'll mock them. That is what it is. You got to have some fun with it. I can't ingest all the stupidity that comes out of the left and not be able to shoot back once in a while. Diddy-crats. And then there's that 30, or I thought that just a second ago. Someone said the old 38,000, blah, blah, blah. It's not 38,000 times. We've searched it already. There's also another website that I put in here every time we talk about the Epstein files. I'm going to put it up here again because it's a really remarkable website. It's called epstein-file-explorer.com. And it basically what a guy went through and he put it all in there. And you can find all that. He avoided looking his burden of proof in the face. What are you talking about? Whose burden of proof? It's funny when people in the chat are like, I got him. I'm going to type this thing and I'll get him. And really, they're just typing the same old narratives and tired, sad lines that, I'll never understand the protection of pedophiles on the right. That's probably because it's not real. That's probably because it's not real. That's probably because it's a narrative that you've been conditioned to believe, that all people on the right are pedophile protectors, and don't look at Bill Clinton, look at Trump, and don't look at Bill Gates, look at Trump, and don't look at the whatever, look at Trump, and blah, blah, blah. It's so tired. Don't you guys get tired of it? Don't you get tired of it? Spouting just whatever it is you're told to. You go on, you get your talking points for the day, and then you troll around social media and you regurgitate that silly narrative everywhere you can because you're a tool. You're a puppet for the people that made that, because those people that make these narratives and create this propaganda don't have to go out and push it anymore on the news because they know there's a million or hundreds of million probably complete lemmings out there that will go and run to their social media and post that, whatever it is, post it as fast as possible, because it doesn't matter about being correct. What matters is that you're first. As long as you're first, that's what's important, guys. Ding. But don't talk about that out loud. I actually thought it was 2004 he called. It was before the case came down. I thought, but I could be wrong. The FedEx docs show he was still friends with him well after he says he kicked him out. Where does it say that? Or is that just that? Because here's the thing: source material. Did you read that yourself, or did someone tell you that? Remember back in the Catholic Church hundreds of years ago, they used to have a thing where the Bible was kept, only the priests could read the word, and then they would have to decipher that word to the people. The people weren't allowed to read it. It's kind of the same thing here. Yeah, right. 20 years, but you got them now. How did that Russian collusion work out for you? Right? That's the confusion. Well, you are specifically defending someone that's in the Epstein files. I'm not specifically defending someone that's in the Epstein files. All I'm doing is saying, let's not say things unless we know they're facts. Is that wrong? I'm saying don't call anybody in there a child rapist unless there's evidence or something like that. Good evidence. Not the kind of evidence that comes from anonymous call-in tip lines and then are investigated and found to be not credible. Not those. And nobody gives a fuck about Bill Gates' arrest. Although I would like to see him get arrested. Good morning. I would like to see him get arrested. I mean, let's see somebody get arrested. Anybody? On a side note, can we please get rid of Pam Bondi? My gosh. She's the worst. Can't stand her. And not to mention even the fact she can't control herself. She has no control in those public hearings. They keep talking about a burden of proof, but what burden of proof? What proof? It's funny. This is making fun of. It's funny how this guy
Loser hiding from his burden of proof.
But then they'll turn around and be like, "Oh, Trump's a rapist. He's a child rapist." Where's the burden of proof? Are you guys like it? Is this really where we are? You are so subverted, so indoctrinated that you can be like, "Oh, you need to show the burden of proof." But then you turn around and make accusations as if they're facts with no burden of proof. Are you kidding me? Do you not see it? Do you not see it? How can you not see it? It's just amazing. That's amazing to me. It's amazing how some people I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand. You can cry about the burden of proof while you're also making accusations while you're ignoring the burden of proof. My gosh, don't you see? That's incredible. Oh man. Like storming the Capitol before getting any facts like that. What are you talking about? We'll go back to old J6 narratives now too. So are the allegations about Trump a lie in your opinion? So the first thing I'll say about that is I don't know. I don't know. I am not going to sit here and say he is 100% innocent of these charges. That's bullcrap. Because I don't know. I'm willing to say I don't know. As far as what my opinion is, no, I don't think so. No, I don't. I really don't think so. Does that mean I'm not willing to, if new information presents itself, change my mind? Absolutely not. Of course, I'll change my mind if new information presents itself. But after many years of seeing these hoaxes and whatever that the Democrats throw up there and put pictures of girls that are adult women, but they put black covers on their faces and then they try to make it look like they were underage. And here's a picture with Trump and all these underage girls and blah, blah, blah. I've seen the propaganda over and over and over and over and over. I've seen them trying. I've seen them trying. I've seen them trying. I've seen them fail over and over again. I've seen them not present any hard evidence over and over again. I've seen them present fake evidence over and over again. So no, I think based more on the Democrats, what they've been doing for the last 10 years, I would say based on that alone, no, I don't think that the allegations are true. I don't think any of them are true. But again, I'm open-minded enough to understand that maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I'm not going to stand here and one way or the other say he absolutely would never do that or he absolutely did do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't know. My politics would lead me to go, no, he's absolutely 100% innocent, blah, 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 and defend him tooth and nail. But I'm not going to do that because I'm honest. Party line would dictate that I should go, oh, he's absolutely innocent. And then you have these other people in there going, oh, he's absolutely guilty. But guess what? None of us really know, do we? None of us really know. We can look at the evidence, but again, this is just the evidence they let us see. So yeah, maybe, but don't convict anybody in the court of public opinion for something so heinous with so little evidence. I'm sorry, when I said so little evidence, I meant with no evidence. Don't you see that that's wrong? Doing that would be wrong. Yeah, I'm a bit fatigued, but I just, you don't get too emotionally involved with it. It won't drag you down too much. That's true. It doesn't help that there are proven paid influencers on social media paid to paint the false narratives. True. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I have liberal fatigue. See, there it is again. It's like one of those. You ever see that thing in the old cartoons when like there'd be a target going to the right, you'd hit it, and then they'd turn around and go the other way, and you'd hit it with a gun, shoot it, and then it'd go the other way again. That's like this guy. Burden of proof, burden of proof, burden of proof, burden of proof. What burden of proof? They don't know. They just keep repeating the same talking points. Doc show he was still in contact for years after he got kicked out. So why they tried to delete it, read by a member of Congress. So where is that? Where is that proof? Let's look at it. It could be right. Maybe he was best friends with him for 10 years after that. Maybe they were good buddies until 2016. Whatever. Let's look at it. Is there evidence? Present it. Let's look at it. But don't just say, oh, he was best friends with him because my group says so. Because my group says so. It is. The delusion of the left is at an all-time high. I'm saying we're seeing a lot of the results of years of subversion. You have got to, if you haven't, you've got to check out Yuri Bezmenov. I have a video on my Rumble account. I'll post it in the comments here. Dude's amazing. It was a former KGB journalist, yada, yada, yada. He left, came to Canada, and he started telling us about the way that the Russians operated their subversion tactics. And man, if you could take that knowledge and combine it with Saul Alinsky's 12 rules for radicals, That's it. You understand the left at that point. There is no more reading. You don't have to know anything past those two things to understand intricately how the left works, how they subvert their people. This shouldn't be as right and left as it is. It's right and wrong. How many stupid people do we have to put up with, like, sir? On a side note, if you want to, if you're in YouTube, I think you do it in Rumble as well. But if you want to, you can go and hit the little dots next to their name and you can block somebody. So you don't have to look at their comments anymore if you're interested in doing that. See, no one is more deluded than a maggot.
Wrong.
Shut up.
I didn't storm the Capitol. I didn't storm the Capitol. I was going to go, but I didn't storm the Capitol. I stayed home and watched it on the news, and I could see what was happening before it was happening. So I created MagAmericans that day. And here we are, 5 years later. We just had our 5th anniversary. Oh, please stop it with that. Time out there. Time out, Snowflake. Yeah, I would have gone. My only issue there was when I had my company, and the only vehicle I could have taken was my work van full of tools, and I didn't want that to be in the government's hands in any way, shape, or form. So I was a little bit leery of even going. But yes, 100%. I remember watching it on TV, and you could see all the people dressed in their black bloc up by the Capitol. They were up the Capitol steps, right by the doors, and then if you look at the crowd down below, it was more MAGA people, different colors and such. So that's like they said in that. Still have it up or no? I know there was a story in Virginia that they're not allowed to. They have to say it was a violent insurrection. Did MAGA have proof before? You mean before being most of them storming and some were invited into the Capitol? I mean, yeah, and the media wasn't listening and no one would report on any of it, and so yeah, I mean, I at that point I knew, but proof would have been hard to come by. What's your point? I mean, I get J6 is like one of the only things that the left has that they can complain about, but yeah. I watched the live streamers who showed the bad actors changing from rally gear into Antifa gear. It happened inside the Capitol too. Clay Higgins reported on it. Our representative from Louisiana reported on that as well. He saw it himself. People going into a room just as whatever, coming out dressed as MAGA. It's about right too. Yeah, lots of feds are there. Lots of feds are there in the crowd, egging people on. That whole situation, man. If you're honest with yourself and you really look at the details and you don't just listen to the narrative that was pushed on mainstream media, then you can understand what really happened that day. It wasn't just they stormed it and that was the end of it. That's not what it was. What is a woman? That would be a female adult. Could have babies. Seems kind of an easy one. Yeah. So Mega has no complaints about skyrocketing prices because you can't count. Sleepy down his phone there. Yeah. What a day. What a day. Well, hey, the weekend's here. Let's not get caught up in all that stuff. Oh man, streaming, all the streamers there, they showed everything. Yeah. And a lot of those got taken down, right? What are morning exercise? Responding to YouTube commentary full of TDS patients. Thank you for always a great talk in the morning. I try, but that's the thing. Is like, I gotta be honest. I'm not here just to spout the right's propaganda because they have it too. I'm here to be honest. I happen to be on the right, but I'm also American. Remember the American family. Remember the American family. We are an American family. All of us are an American family. It's going to be all right. Remember that. It's going to be okay. We're doing okay. 250th anniversary of America coming up here soon. Prices. Let me see here. I have 4 kids and I'm at the grocery store. You're watching me at the grocery store? Awesome. See, there's the narrative. Here's the narrative.
You happen to be on the right, supporting a fascist government with fallacious arguments.
Where's your burden of proof? You have to have a burden of proof too? Oh my goodness. No way. Oh, my mama is really proud of me. That's for sure. It's tricky to ask people those. I try to stay away from that online because right now what he's doing is he's on Google looking it up and he'll be copying and pasting an answer shortly. I prefer in person when you can really pin them down. There's no argument to make. All you're doing is giving opinions with no burden of proof.
The funny voice is supposed to make us forget about the FedEx files.
No, it's just supposed to make fun of stupid comments and make it a little bit more interesting. That's all. Just make it a little bit more interesting. Look at that. I think you're a good dude, just misinformed, as we all are to some degree. Stay open, brother. See you next week. I appreciate that very much. Exactly. That's kind of what I want you guys to understand. That's what I am. I'm just looking for the proof. I'm not trying to. Okay, we get it. We get it. All right. All right. All right. Time out. Take a minute. Take a minute. Take a minute. Sometimes people get carried away out there. Hit the button and just cancel out that spammer there. And then you don't have to deal with it anymore. Let me see. I did something from the chat the one day and it was not good because I'm in StreamYard and it does a different thing in Stream. Load up. There we go. There we go. Bye-bye. That's fixed. Beautiful. Make sure I get the other one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Okay, good. Got that taken care of. All right. Sorry about that. These live chats are so full of bots. You should do something. I don't know what I can do about it. But I will say that on the right side again, if there's the three dots next to the person's name, that you can block them so that you don't have to look at their ridiculous comments. Yeah. So that's pray for your enemies, guys. Pray for your enemies, and if someone popped into your head when I said that, pray for that person even harder. They need it. They need it. So head to MagAmericans.com for more resources, links, and info. Grab my book, Freedom Isn't Free, for that unfiltered truth behind the scenes of a patriot movement. And subscribe here on YouTube. Hit that bell. You never know when I might. Idiot MagAmericans, thanks for spending some of your morning with us. You are appreciated. Stay strong. Stay faithful. God bless you. God bless America. We will see you here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for a faith message and some chat. Until then, have yourselves a blessed Saturday. I hope it goes amazing for you. I hope you have the best weekend. Make sure you check out MagAmericans.com. Follow us on social media at MagAmericans. Have a great weekend, guys. See you tomorrow.